Flip a coin. Okay, we're taking Chase Hooper, and this is probably the last time I'll ever take Chase Hooper if he bites us in the ass. Chase is going to look to grapple. That's what he's good at. Other than that, he's a twig, a little soy boy. I don't even know what that means. Just thought it fits.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy, JP. And in today's episode, we will be breaking down and giving our predictions for every single fight, UFC Fight Night, Plessis versus Usman. But before we do, JP, we have a few things to talk about. UFC 329 was this past weekend, and we'll get to the heartbreak. But before we do, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Join the Locked Door MMA community by hitting that subscribe button. It's free to do, and we'd be more than happy to have you join. You don't want to miss our great UFC predictions every single week. But speaking of last week, JP, I'll let you tell the people out there a little bit of what you and I experienced.
Oh, man. What a time. Last week, couldn't wait. He didn't even want to go to work. Just wanted to wake up and have it be Saturday already. Saturday came and went. The prelims. One of the best feelings I've had, at least watching it with Brevin. The prelims went to pretty much a T of how we were breaking it down. Everything we said. Damian Pinas, one straight shot. Cesar Almeida, high-level kickboxer. All this stuff. All he's got to do is throw a straight shot. Finally let his hands go. That one was great. Luke Riley got a finish. I mean, good for him. I don't know if we necessarily called finish because Kai coming into this one, he was pretty tough, but good hands by that kid. Gable, round one. I'm not going to sit here and harp on it because we do in every other video. People cry about the odds way too much. I said it all week long. Gable, round one, McKinney and Green, under 1.5 with a profit boost. The profit boost showed up. It's just easy money, Brandon. It's easy money. It's like taking candy from a baby. Okay, you don't want to do it. Probably complain about it, but at the end of the day, you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Bobby Knuckles. Which, first of all, everybody out there, stop disrespecting our boy, calling him fat, out of shape. Okay, knock it off. All right, Bobby, you had to put on a little bit of weight. We'll dial it in. But dude looked great, I thought. And Nikita. We said he didn't have a chin. I mean, he doesn't now. Things broke, but my God, dude was taking shots. That is for goddamn sure. Patty's disgusting. Patty is disgusting. Speaking of that, we were watching the whole prelims by ourselves. Went 9-0, felt great. Everybody shows up at the watch party for the main card, and your boys lose 3 in a row. Okay, sure. Well, however that works. The Loner one, Brandon, I think just looked great. Loner was very flat-footed, if you ask me. Didn't move like himself. I don't know. He struggled with the range. Terrence McKinney, who cares? He quit. Bobby, I was playing possum. I'm sure you were, Bobby. I'm sure you were. My Lord. I'm sure your eye, that was a fake cut, too. Yeah, that dude blows my mind. Corey, I saw today.
Yeah,
pretty sure he tore his hamstring.
the hammy was bad.
I mean, it is what it is. Fight game, knee bar. I mean, Batista had a Umbar and a toe hold as well. So good win by Batista. Can't be too upset about that one. Corey went out there, won the second round, and then just got dropped on the third. So it is what it is. Like I said, Patty's nasty. And the heartbreak of the year. I don't even know where to begin. If you are one of the people that thinks it's rigged, I don't understand. You probably clearly have never blown your knee out before. Because if his knee was that bad in the cage, to where it's getting buckled and he can't stand there and he's falling every time he tries to throw off of it, you wouldn't be drilling that kick in the back. And people are like, why? Why is he drilling that kick? Why are we throwing a jumping switch kick? Which, like, in the heat of the moment, we said that. But it's just because we wanted to see it go long. But if you go back and watch Connor's fights, he always throws some shit like that to start his fight, right? He always comes out. uncorks a straight left against Cerrone, throws a spinning back kick, something. So it is what it is. Um, if you're a Conor hater, you didn't even get to see Max beat his ass. We didn't even get to see a fight. The rage bait went crazy. And Brevin, what also makes no sense to me, all these people are saying you're brain dead if you think Conor's going to win. There's no way in hell he wins. But now you're the same people saying it's rigged because his knee blew out and he lost. What? Make it make sense for me. I just don't understand. I guess it's just the amount of eyes. And I did watch John Anik's podcast on it. The amount of eyes of like casual fans that are on it is probably why.
Oh, yeah. No, we could tell. We could tell all of you in the comment section this weekend. Holy cow. You must be all casuals. Someone said I pick all underdogs. Someone said I pick all favorites. It was on the same video. It made 0 sense. Um, and yeah, all the people I knew Max Holloway was gonna win. Well, first and foremost, we didn't see a fucking fight. We didn't see a fight. So don't sit there and act like you knew Max was gonna win and he went out there and beat up Conor McGregor. Guess what? In their first matchup, which you probably didn't watch and you probably didn't even know that they fought before, Conor won. Okay. He's the better fighter. Now I get it, the 5-year layoff would have came into play, but at the end of the day, you can't predict a knee blowing out. So sue me. If it makes me a bad UFC predictor, sue me. I'm not predicting people's knees going out and Corey Sandhagen tearing a hamstring and Terrence McKinney just being a baby and quitting when he had Bobby Green an elbow away from the ref stepping in. So yeah, you guys can say what
Oh,
you want. You can
my
say what you
God.
want. Hey, the boys went 10-4, and guess what? JP and I, we made a lot of money. So clearly you're not watching the videos because every single fight, we're giving you the parlays, we're giving you the picks for every single one. And we went 9-0 on the prelims. We were up big. We were up big, and so would have you if you paid attention. So make sure to hit subscribe. Join the community right freaking now. We're the best UFC predictors in the world. We're on the longest win streak out of any UFC predicting channel out there on YouTube, and that's tracked by a third party. So I'm not even making that up. All right. So you guys can say what you want. We're good over here. Trust me, we're good over here.
Hey, and everybody who's subscribed, who joined this weekend too, great to have you here. Okay, we're not talking about you guys. You guys know what's up. Right? You know where to be at. The TikTok people,
Brain dead.
it's just mind numbing. It really is. Also, I'm glad you brought that point up. Of he hurt his knee in their first fight as well, and everybody's been saying this, and it's crazy to me. He hurt his knee in like the second round, and he was winning. No shit. He's not gonna stop fighting. No shit. Other than blowing it out the first strike you throw. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. 90% of these people saying this clearly have never hurt their knee before, so they don't even know like how it feels and what you can and can't do. And I don't know if it's a meniscus or ACL, whatever it is, but it's freaking heartbreaking to just not even see a fight at all. Is what it is. But Patty, I saw Patty. He goes, "Oh, McGregor's done, lad. Your boy, the new sheriff in town." Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the crowd. The oh patties, the baddies. It's lit, JP. I'm not gonna lie. I almost passed out after he won from screaming and yelling so much. Um, So he is getting that star power, and maybe there is a new sheriff in town. Maybe the torch has been passed a little bit, but there will be nobody that lives up to what Connor was, at least for you and I in our generation.
100%.
Changed the sport forever. He brought more people to the sport, like we're trying to do, right? And hey, he says he's going to be back. He has one more fight on his contract. Do I agree with it? I don't care. I would love to see him actually just fight. I mean, part of me
Okay.
does care. A part of me does care, but at the end of the day, like if he was to retire, I'd be like, I get it. I understand. I don't want to see something like that happen to you any longer. But then another side of me is like, I really want to see this dude fight and I want him to prove all these absolute nobodies wrong, which he has no more proving left to do. But that's my thought process.
No, I agree. 100%. Good card though. 10-4 is what it is. Um, the main card picks that we missed. Terrence McKinney won. Don't really give a shit. Do not care. Said it was a 50-50 one. And then the other two. Royval just looked great, and then Coria obviously blew out his hammy, so what it is. Yeah, fun weekend, dude. What a weekend. Shout out to my sister. Sister had a baby shower. That was great. All right, your boy's gonna be an uncle, and you best know. Okay, the moment that kid pops out the womb, I'm gonna teach him how to butt scoot to start, safety first. We're gonna teach him lots of stuff. Okay, dude's gonna be a grappling whiz. That is for sure.
Yeah, maybe like someone else on this card by the name of Chase Hooper, but hey, we'll get to him later on in the card. JP, we got a fun little fight night. I mean, there's some big names on this one. It's in Oklahoma City, which I like because they're going to stack these cards for these cities that don't get UFC events too often. It's not like we're at the Apex where we can just throw anybody out there on the card. We actually have a fun card ahead of us.
Absolutely. And this main event, I know was talked about a lot because they did announce it with not like what was it, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of notice or something like that. So we'll have to see. Lots of cancellations too. All right, starting it off, women's fight. Dione Barbosa against the short notice replacement for who was it for? Veronica Hardy. It's going to be Anne Melisano.
Starting with Anna Melisano, she's an interesting girl. Like looking at her record, only 6-1, fairly inexperienced, but she's strong. She has some good striking, and when she hits girls, like they don't eat her shots very well. There was one; it was a doctor stoppage. I believe it was the last fight she had. JP. I don't know if I've seen a deeper cut on a woman's face than what Melisano was able to accomplish on her opponent. I mean, that face was just cut to oblivion. They had to stop the fight. It was bleeding so bad. It was so deep. She is 4-0, so she does have some potential. Like I said, good striker. She's taken on Dione Barbosa. Barbosa's 9-4. She is coming into this fight with the UFC experience. She is the number 15th ranked fighter in the division. And JP, she is, yes, 3-2 in the UFC, but I would say she's a better fighter than what her record shows. Good on the feet, striking's good, throws straight punches, and then on the ground. I mean, she's really good at jujitsu. She's very tricky, very flexible as well. If you're in her guard, watch out for the Umaplata. She brings those legs up over your head. She is so flexible there, and then she can utilize that to either submit you or get back up to her feet. I do like her skill set in this matchup. Short notice for Melisano, and I just don't think it's enough time for her to prepare for someone as experienced as Dione Barbosa. So Barbosa is going to be the pick.
Yeah, and I think the story we're going to kind of see on this card is there's some people with their resumes don't look great, you know? So this Anna chick, her resumes, a lot of low level comp, 2-2, 0-1, stuff like that. So you don't really get the look that Dione's been getting recently. And even the Karine Silva fight with Barbosa, people arguably thought she won that because Karine does what she does and lays on her fucking back the whole time. So it is what it is. Um, we'll have to see more. And it's kind of, I guess, the story of Garza and then Theodore, the kid who fought Donchenko a couple weekends ago. We say it. They might have potential. It's kind of hard to pick them. You can't pick them right now just because the level jump, the experience of the person they're fighting. So give us Barbosa. And it's funny. I know the people watching can't see this, but I can see through Brevin's house, and the light show of the lightning in the window is going nuts. Which reminded me, the fireworks, which I started editing the video, realized we couldn't hear the fireworks in the video at all.
It was only on Discord.
Yeah. So we're just yapping about shit they can't hear.
It was silent. Oh my God, did you hear that?
Somebody's breaking in. Did those people get arrested or anything?
The cops showed up. I don't know if they took anyone, but there was certainly an investigation, and the fireworks quickly came to a halt once the police officers showed up to the scene. So, yeah, it was probably the most extravagant fireworks show that was not put on by a city or a
Yeah.
large organization I've ever heard in my life. It was crazy.
That's hilarious, dude. The lightning show behind you just made me remember that. I was like, those people had to have gotten arrested. An amateur, because you're like, a couple 100 feet from the park, maybe that they were at. So you're like right there.
Oh yeah.
All right. Moving up, big boys. And that is not a joke. One of them got caught for altering how big he is. We'll just say that. Alvin Hines makes his return going up against newcomer RJ Harris.
Yeah, this is a fun matchup like most heavyweight fights are. Alvin Hines, in his last time out, took on Jonata Denise, put on a good display for himself, JP. Ate some shots decently well, wrestled a little bit, and had some striking moments of his own. A lot of people, including myself, thought Denise was going to get him out of there pretty quickly. Um, but he proved to be pretty durable. Now I know that after that fight, he popped for steroids, right? Which is not a good look. It's never a good look. And we'll talk about another fighter that popped for steroids. But what are we doing? I get it. You're 6'2". You got to give yourself some type of an advantage. And I tell you what, we've said it for so long now. JP and I could start our own drug program to identify these guys on steroids just by looking at them on their topology photos. Half the time, JP and I are like, "Hey, is this guy getting tested?" And then, sure enough, about like couple months later, so and so popped for steroids. Interesting. JP and I were on the case first. Alvin Hines, yeah, he's pretty well rounded. He's taken on RJ Harris on short notice. RJ Harris, 6'6". Okay, this guy comes in with pretty much all 265 pounds when he fights. And then his reach, he's got an 80-inch reach. So there will be a 6-inch reach advantage in this matchup with a pretty big height advantage for RJ Harris. And now his nickname's the Hammer. And JP, when you have a hammer, you've got to have a nail. I think Alvin Hines is going to be the nail. Look for RJ Harris to land a jab, probably cut Hines up. I mean, if you saw in the Denise fight, there was jabs just ruining the face of Alvin Hines. I don't know if it was he didn't have enough scar tissue or his skin's just soft as a baby's bottom, but it was getting cut open pretty bad and swelling up just off of jabs. So I think RJ Harris can do the same thing here, utilize the reach, and then look out for RJ Harris's guillotine. Okay. Anytime guys shoot on him, especially in the LFA, he was snatching their neck and cranking on that thing. He likes doing that. That is his takedown defense. And you know what? He's had a lot of success with it, probably because his arms are so darn long. He can reach around and grab the neck there. Also had a really nice Americana as well. Few fights before that. So this guy is skilled. He's a good grappler when he's on top. I think there's opportunities for him to be a little bit better when he's on the bottom if he ends up on the bottom and getting back up to his feet. But he's scrappy on the feet. He can be a little bit flat footed, keep his chin up a little bit too high in the air. However, he blitzes forward with his strikes nicely and he's pretty accurate picking his shots. So I like the short notice replacement, RJ Harris, to get it done here.
Yeah, dude's a monster. He does have a background in boxing. I do that at least once a video, literally every week. He does have a background of boxing. Okay, so with that 80-inch reach, I do like to see that jab that he's gonna pull out there, especially when Alvin starts to get tired. His footwork, not the best, but again, we are heavyweights, so we're not gonna be light on our feet, moving around all the time. Um, and Brevin brought it up, the Gilly. You guys hear us say sometimes we don't like when people jump Gilly way too much. When they're heavyweights and Alvin's going to be sprinting in because he's getting pinged at range and constantly shooting, heavyweights get so sloppy when they're tired. So sloppy. If he's going to keep spam shooting on this dude or shooting late into the fight when he's tired, that's when that Gilly becomes a problem because they can't fight out of it as much. I know they're sweaty and it's all slippery, and so you don't think he's going to get it, but you don't got as much gas in you. It doesn't take as much. So we'll have to see. Those long ass arms are good for chokes and stuff like that. But yeah, we like the size, the reach. Give us RJ Harris. Big ass boys. All right. Moving up the card. This one's going to be a good one. Very excited for this one. Alden Coria is taking on Stuart Nicoll.
Now, this is a fun one. Alden Coria will come in as your biggest favorite on the card. 5 wins via KO and 4 wins via submission. Very skilled fighter. 2-0 in the UFC thus far. Beaten Alessandro Costa in round three with some punches, and then fought a good fight, pretty dominant fight against Louis Garul as well. And JP, I don't know about you, but I think we're both pretty high on Costa now, especially watching the Durden fight, the Matt Schnell fight, as well as the Stuart Nicoll fight, who he's fighting this weekend. Costa's looking pretty good, and Corey's even better, right? And so I think that kind of gives us um, a lot of tells from that. And then also looking at Stuart Nicoll. He's found zero success in the UFC. He's somebody that he will strike with you, but his striking's a little bit subpar, if you ask me. And he'll grapple with you, but his grappling's a little subpar. So like I don't want to say he's well rounded, but he's not afraid to go into any type of fight that you want him to be in, which is troubling if you're just the lesser skilled guy in all areas of that fight, which he will be against Coria. I think Coria is the better grappler. I think Coria is the better striker. And Nicoll's not someone that's going to fight smart. I think he engages way too much. He overthrows, especially with his combinations. And I expect Coria to find a KO here against Nicoll, who will be in the pocket and will be there for him to hit. Look for Coria to tee off here. Give us Alden Coria to get the job done.
Absolutely. Footwork's better, striking's better, hand speed, combinations. He's got good takedown defense. He can grapple. That's why he's as big of a favorite as he is. People are gonna cry about it, like I said. Um, Stewart, like Brevin mentioned, his IQ's terrible for a wrestling guy to shoot your neck into a guillotine and then basically grab the dude's legs. You're fighting a guy who is known for a phenomenal guillotine, and you stick your neck right into his armpit and grab the back of his thighs and wrap them around your back like he's your girlfriend. That makes literally zero fucking sense to me. And then on the feet against Costa, he's getting pinged up and he's smiling at him, waving him on. You guys know how much I hate that shit. The IQ's just not there. It's not there. Corey is going to dominate. Round one, easy. We're moving up the card here to another steroid user. Oh boy. Oh boy. Felipe Franco's taking on newcomer Levi Rodriguez Jr.
Now, looking at the topology photos, JP, some might believe that we're talking about Felipe Franco, okay? Because Franco is low key a little juiced himself. All right, big old traps in that photo. He has moved up to heavyweight as well. In his last time out, fought Mario Pinto at heavyweight, coming back down to light heavyweight for this fight. But it's not Felipe Franco, it's Levi Rodriguez Jr., who was on the juice. Yeah, never a good look. The dude is 5-0. And I went back and when I was watching film, I saw it, JP. This kid, he's always thrown hard, but there was a point in his career that he was kind of skinny. He was kind of scrawny. And then in his last fight against Freddie Vidal, I saw him and I was like, "Oh boy. I know exactly why he got caught with steroids because he blew up." Strong dude. He throws haymakers, okay? I was telling JP before we started filming, reminds me a lot of Ryan Gondra. A lot of people didn't like Ryan Gondra going into the Zachary Reese fight, but we saw how that ended up. It only takes one. He will find the temple. He throws from the hip, so it's really hard to pick up on, especially with the lead hooks. And I think he finds Franco's temple and knocks him out. Felipe Franco, pretty decent wrestler. He is able to get in on his shots, pick guys up, slam them. He's done that in the past, but the striking is a little bit lackluster and he gets hit way too often for me to feel safe picking Franco in this matchup. For him to find success, he's going to have to wrestle and he's going to have to stay safe. Now, I'll give the dude I'll give the guy credit. Surviving against Mario Pinto, who's been knocking people out at heavyweight when you're the much lighter fighter was impressive. When JP and I watched that fight, we were like, all right, Franco, he fought a pretty good fight. He clinched up, he survived, he did what he needed to do. But in this one, yes, it is at a lighter weight. I just see Levi Rodriguez finding the knockout here because he throws everything into every shot. I don't expect the fight to last too long. Franco has proven to be fairly durable, never been knocked out in his career, However, I think he gets his first knockout loss on Saturday. We're taking Levi Rodriguez Jr.
Yeah, and it's a hard one, the weird one, right? Because I know everybody's gonna be like, you guys just talked about steroids and you picked against the other steroid user. We did, but Franco, like Brevin said, looks like he's juiced. He's not, but he's got all this muscle. And this one, he's gonna have to put Levi on his back and just wrestle fuck him, keep wrestling fuck him, and you gas out with a lot of that muscle. Okay, and our one big gripe about Pinto, it always has been, he looks for the perfect shot a little too
Mm.
much. It was similar to the Damian Pinos fight. Finally, when he let his hands go, he got there. But stop looking for the perfect shots. Show him your hands. Show him combinations. Don't let them get comfortable on the feet. But Franco, and with Levi, he is going to come forward. He's going to pressure and he's going to throw fucking bombs, dude. So in that first round, you fight a guy like this, you fight a guy like Gondra. You can't sit there and be technical and try and get your range and all this shit. You just got to put them on their back. You got to chill them out, right? It's like a little puppy that's just going 100 miles an hour. You just got to pick them up, put them in air jail. Get all the energy out. Settle down. And if he comes forward and he lands one of those big shots of these big boys, he's going to put him out. I think if Franco does a wrestle heavy game plan, I think it might gas him out, but we'll have to see. Interesting one here. We're taking Levi. This one is possibly, I'd say, second best fight on this card, in my opinion. In my opinion, I am very excited for this one. Jean-Paul Lebosnoyani, I said it better last time, returns taking on Seok Hyun Ko.
Fun fight. JPL, dangerous everywhere, right? We've broke him down before. Good striker, has knockout power, good kicks as well. He's very comfortable with the boxing. He's a good boxer, and his jujitsu is really, really high level. This kid's been training ever since he was a little kid. Okay, he grew up with MMA in his life. Father being coach of Hoist Gracie, so that this is nothing new for him. Seok Hyun Ko, great judo. He's really come onto the scene. I mean, I've kind of been so impressed by Seok Hyun Ko. Always been counted out in every single one of his fights. He won on the Contender Series as an underdog. He won against Oban Elliott pretty convincingly as an underdog. And then I don't know if he was the favorite or not in the Phil Rowe. It looks like he was the favorite barely against Phil Rowe, won via unanimous decision. The kid is dangerous, good striking. He's quick. He's light on his feet. He kind of fights a little bit like Connor, where he's got his hands pretty low. He's real bouncy. His chin's there to be hit, but what it does is it draws you in and he hits you with his counter left. He'll often hit the 1-2 counter on you as well, sticking that right hand jab in your face. He's very fast and he's very powerful. His judo is really good. If you're in the clinch with him, he'll just out of nowhere flip you and you'll end up on your back. And then for JPL, great jujitsu. So we'll see a little bit of this back and forth where I feel like Ko will be able to get him down. And then look for Jean Paul to be able to kind of threaten with some submissions and the Ko to kind of have to back off. And then we'll see some striking exchanges there where I do believe Ko is the better striker. A little bit cleaner, a little bit faster. And yes, John Paul has some knockouts on his resume, but I think Ko has the power advantage in this one. When he hits people, it just kind of keeps them a little bit like deer in the headlights. Like, I don't necessarily want to re-enter that pocket with Ko, right? And that's what we've seen time and time again. So we're gonna pick Seok Young Ko. Great fight, but he's really, really kind of came onto the scene. And John Paul, I love the guy. I think he is skilled. I just see some striking deficiencies against Ko in this matchup.
This is a damn good fight. This is a damn good fight. And we really do like both of these guys. John Paul, he's gonna have the tighter stance. I'd say the more squared up a little bit, kind of Muay Thai esque stance. Like Brevin was saying, Ko, he does have that wide one where he bounces in and out. He is very fast. Um, John Paul gets hit a little too much for our liking. I mean, granted, that's where he kind of does a lot of his work. He's willing to eat a couple to give you a combination. He doesn't just throw one shot at a time. But like Brevin said, Ko's judo is very good. He is very strong. His top pressure when he's on top of you is great. He's perfect at shifting your weight and keeping you down when he wants to. Damn close fight. I do not blame you on either guy, but it's just how much John Paul gets hit. We're gonna take Co. Hard one though. I mean, extremely hard one. I think this one should be higher up. I know exactly where I think this one should be. In place of Chase freaking Hooper. We'll get there. Don't worry. Yeah, we're taking Co. All right, next one. A show favorite, I would say, at this point. I know Brevin had his moments with him, but now I think we both like him. And an Arizona native, Jose Delgado is taking on Austin Bashi.
Hey, don't tell me I'm getting soft, JP. Am I finally coming around to some of these Arizona fighters? Hey, I tell you what, Jose Delgado, he's really shown a lot. Good power in his striking. He's big for this division, very lengthy, and he throws a lot of shots that a lot of guys don't see coming, which I really like about him. And when he does hit you clean, it affects you a lot. I mean, dropping Nathaniel Wood, fought a really good fight in that one. Some people think Delgado won that fight. And then who was it, JP? The
Feely?
Hyder Emil.
Hyder Meal,
Sorry,
yeah,
the
putting
the
him out.
Hyder Emil performance was really nice. The knee up the middle, right? Just blasting him with that. The Feely fight was close, split decision, and a lot of people this weekend are going to tell you, I didn't like how he looked against Feely. He was a big favorite. He should have looked better. And Bashi, he's a prospect, great grappler, a good wrestler. And Bashi, yeah, he throws hard. He is pretty good at finding people's backs and then getting real comfortable there. And in this one, I think there's going to be a lot of attempts for Austin Bashi to get inside and get takedowns and then control Jose Delgado. But I expect the weapons up the middle from Delgado to really keep Bashi at bay. And if Bashi does commit, which he will, to a takedown, I think Delgado could possibly find a knee up the middle that either knocks Bashi out or really deters him for the rest of the fight to shoot those takedowns, which I just feel like Bashi is programmed to do. We saw in the Christian Rodriguez matchup, he just wouldn't stop shooting, which is great. That's his strong suit. But when Christian started stuffing them, reversing position, rolling with the attempts, it started to tire out Bashi. If you see this kid, he is muscly. He's a big, stocky dude at this weight. And versus Delgado, who's tall and lengthy, I think he really carries the cardio a lot better. Bashi has improved. He's young. He's continuing to improve, but I think Delgado's fought the much better competition in the division. I mean, John Giannis, I think, is absolute garbage. The best guy he fought was Christian Rodriguez, who we all know is a prospect beater, and he lost to him. So he's got to go out there and really start to prove himself going up against a guy in Delgado who has already been fighting top level guys in the division who we know has the power. You got to stick with Jose Delgado here. He's going to be the pick. I expect him to throw a lot of weapons to deter Bashi from just shooting takedowns and grabbing the back. If he does, if Bashi grabs the back and grapples him the whole time, Delgado's going to have a rough night ahead of him. He's got to fend off the takedowns. And if he does get taken down, he needs to work right back up to his feet. You don't want to spend too much time on the ground with Austin Bashi, but Delgado will be the pick.
Yeah, and the good thing about Delgado is he always kind of does, right? He'll look for a sub here or sub there, but he never really accepts being on bottom. He's got good scrambles. And like Brevin's saying, the weapons up the middle. He's got the teep kick, the front kick. He'll time those knees. He's going to be long. Bashi, I think, is going to struggle a lot with the 1-2, especially the jab. But Bashi is quick. And like Brevin said, he'll constantly shoot with strength to him. We say it all the time. If that's what you know your strength is wrestling, then fucking go. And that's what Bashi does. If you stuff 1 or 2, I could give a shit. I'm going to keep going. So that's perfectly fine. This is going to be a damn good fight. We're going to learn a lot about Bashi's striking. But I do think the weapons up the middle, the length, then I think Delgado's scrambles will be perfectly fine. Um, if anything, I think Bashi would have to hit an early sub here. I think everything else outside of that is just either Delgado by decision or possibly a late stoppage. He starts to beat up Bashi. I can see Bashi getting cut a lot from all the damage from up the middle. So good fight, but picking Delgado.
Just one of those knees could absolutely change the fight. And you brought up a really good point. The 1-2 was there for Christian Rodriguez. which I think Jose Delgado's got a much sharper, nastier 1-2 down the pipe, and Bashi really wasn't able to move his head out of the way. Look for Delgado also throw some uppercuts, and I think those will be there all night for him as well. Bashi, he'll blitz in, throw big shots just to get to the legs, and Delgado and team will know that, right? He's got a good gym behind him. They'll be prepared for those takedown attempts, and I think Delgado will make him pay. All right, that's it for the prelims. That's going to move us up to the main card, starting with the boy, Tommy Guns, Tommy McMillan. Hopefully, he joins another TikTok live soon. Taking on Alberto Montes.
Oh boy. Oh boy. The main card starting with a bang. Our guy, Tommy Guns. This one's a good one. And this one is what I think people are going to be yapping about all week. This is going to be the controversial fight of the week. And I can kind of see why. Okay, everybody knows Tommy Guns. If you're one of those people who cries and complains about boring grappling, well, Tommy feels the same way you do. Okay, he says it all the time. Fuck wrestling, screw grappling. He makes fun of people who get their wrestling stuffed and then gas out. And it's funny that he says that because dude is a damn good wrestler. Okay, dude can sprawl like a mug. He's very fast. His transitions are great. He'll roll out of bag takes. His submission defense, from what we have seen up until this point, is phenomenal. That's good because he is going to need that against Montes. Montes is a Anaconda Darce wizard. Okay, he should be called the Darce Knight and not Mr. Dawkins. Is that Dawkins' nickname? Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Montes should be called that because he gets them all the time. He looks for him all the time. He'll even jump to get one and lose position. You'll see it coming from a mile away. He's still going to do it. Okay. His hands aren't bad. He tries to be very technical, which he is. He's got a nice high guard. The only thing I don't like is when you advance and when you start pressuring him, he just goes straight backwards with his high guard up. Tommy's going to advance. Tommy's going to come forward. Tommy's going to throw haymakers. People don't like Tommy's technique. They say it's not good. It's not clean, blah, blah, blah. Correct. But one of Tommy's superpowers is he makes you fight the way he wants to fight. He is a dog. He will come forward. He will pressure your gas tank. He'll get hit. Goddamn will he get hit, but he'll hit you back. Okay? And they both like that front head tie, that front headlock. Okay? Montes uses it to get to his Darce, to his Anaconda, whatever. If people shoot in on him, immediately he'll go to that. Brevin was talking about the big boy using the ghillie as his takedown defense. That's what Montes uses. Tommy does the same exact thing. The only problem, neither of them really shoot clean takedowns. Neither of them will go and shoot a clean double, a clean single. And people all week are going to sit here and tell you, oh, well, Tommy's a state championship wrestler, so he's probably going to. No, he doesn't. He does not want to wrestle. He would rather slang and bang and knock you out on the feet and give everybody a good show. Tommy Guns is about the show, about the fire. The only reason that he's the great wrestler that he is to stuff it and make fun of you when he stuffs it and then beat your ass. Damn close fight. I don't blame anybody for going Montes if you don't believe in Tommy, whatever, this and that. You think his technique sucks, blah, blah, blah. We're back in Tommy Guns. The pressure, I don't like how Montes goes backwards. Tommy's not going to shoot a takedown and leave his neck out there. Even if Montes does try and get his neck, Tommy scrambles, his wrestling, all the above. We're taking Tommy Guns by KO. I just think he makes him fight his style of fight, and it's a dog fight. And my money's on Tommy.
100%. I think in a dogfight, you got to pick Tommy. I mean, the dude claims he can keep that pace going for as long as he needs to, and his opponents never will be able to keep up. He claims he's got the cardio to just keep punching, keep going, keep pressing you up against the fence. And I was telling JP before we started filming, Tommy Guns at this weight at 145, being 6 foot tall with a 74-inch reach, dude's big for this division. And that's really imposing, especially if you're a guy in Montes who typically isn't the smaller fighter, is a technical striker, likes to pick your shots, and is a pretty good grappler. You're a little bit of a Taporia, little Walmart version of Taporia, right? Tommy's going to make this a dogfight, and I just think Montes is not going to be ready for how ugly it's going to get. Look for Tommy to land some knees up the middle. Look for him to land some elbows, some big old hooks, and really keep Montes guessing. But yeah, Tommy McMillan, and let's be honest, JP, he trains out of a good gym, Red Hawk Academy. They're gonna be
Damn good.
prepared for Montes. All you gotta do is look at the dude's tapology. I mean, if we're not practicing Darce defense and Anaconda defense, then what
Yeah.
are we doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because that's what this dude does best, and I think Tommy's gonna be well prepared and get this one done.
100%. Yeah, all you gotta do is just look at his last 3 wins. Okay. Well, can't go there.
All right, this next matchup, two high-level women. Tabitha Ricci is taking on Fatima Kline.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Okay. Fight about women's MMA all you want, but this one is gonna be a good fight. Both of these women, somewhat of prospects, I would say. Fatima's the younger, newer-ish prospect. And this is going to be a damn good fight. Tabitha looking to clinch you up against the cage, get control time. She does throw volume. Okay, she's got a good grappling technique. My only problem with Tabitha is her volume is normally a lot of nonsense, and then the last one or two might get to you, but she's always a smaller fighter, so she throws to get to you. By the time she does, she's normally 3, 4 punches into her combo. Um, the grappling, I don't think Tabitha has an edge over at all. Fatima's a very high level grappler. That's all she did before she joined the UFC. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Fatima's looked great. Since she came in, she lost to Jasmine. I think we even picked Fatima, or at least I did. That was back when we did our separate picks. When she came in, she's looked better and better. Her main training partner is Aaron Blanchfield. So if anybody's going to ragdoll her, I'd be shocked. And Fatima on the feet has looked phenomenal recently. She has a good one too. Her kicking game is phenomenal. She's got good footwork. She is very fast. She's going to be bigger in this one. We're taking Fatima Kline. Tabitha's normally good at making it a close fight. Some would call her a split decision merchant, but in this one, I think it's Fatima Kline all the way. I think she possibly could get a finish, but I think she beats her up. Unanimous decision. Give us Fatima Kline.
Yeah, no, you said it really well. I mean, she is just another girl that's so big for this weight. 115, you're 5'6", 67-inch reach. Holy smokes, she's a good striker, good on the ground as well. And I think really she can hold her own in all phases of this fight. All right, that's going to move us up to JP's nephew, future nephew, with the skill set of Chase Hooper taking on Mitch Ramirez. Look at this guy's face. He's already annoyed to even be talking about this fight.
Oh my God. This fight should be swapped with and Lebosnoyani, and it makes no sense to me. Do what you want. Flip a fucking coin. Okay, we're taking Chase Hooper, and this is probably the last time I'll ever take Chase Hooper if he bites us in the ass. Chase is gonna look to grapple. That's what he's good at. Other than that, he's a twig, a little soy boy. I don't even know what that means. Just thought it fits. Dude can't
Soy
strike.
boy?
Dude can't strike. His striking's abysmal. He thinks he's a fucking ballerina half the goddamn time, spinning for no reason. Can't stand it. If you want Mitch Ramirez, you're getting a great line on him. Take Mitch. Mitch is probably the better striker. He's definitely got more power. Mitch hasn't fought anybody, and the good people he fights, he gets beat. He gets knocked out. He's also getting taken down and controlled for 7 minutes on 1, 2 takedowns. So if Chase does get a takedown, can Mitch get off his back? If he can, cool. I could give a shit. Not going to bet on it. Don't care about it. Chase Hooper gets knocked out. Give him his walking papers and send him to Walmart or Target. Or maybe send him to Allstate because he looks like he should be doing my insurance. Can't stand the dude. He gets clipped all the time. Last time we'll ever take Chase Hooper. He said after his last fight, striking with these guys, it's for the birds. Okay, cool. Should have been that way the whole time. All because he wobbled Vyacheslav Borishev. Oh, I wobbled Slavaklaus. I'm like that. Can't stand it. Give us Chase Hooper. My nephew is going to have way better striking than that. And no way he's going to be like this loser.
Soy boy is a term used to describe men perceived as lacking tradition traditional masculine traits, often implying they are weak or socially liberal. So, it, I mean, it could mean a young or immature male.
I don't think he's immature. He's a
Another
mature
one
guy.
is vegan or traditionally less masculine. Wow. I don't know how you just came up with that word and you didn't even know what it meant. There you go.
Oh
Hopefully
man.
it doesn't get us canceled.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Interesting fight. And yes, Chase Hooper has let us down. I don't know. I think JP touched on it. I don't know how he's minus 350, whatever he is right now. I don't know what the odds makers are really seeing. His striking is abysmal. Um, Strikes like a soy boy. All right. Mitch Ramirez is the better striker. He's got power. That's terrible. We shouldn't be saying soy boy. Wha-
If we
You
didn't
you
get
came up
canceled
with
the
that word
first
on the
one.
yeah, I don't know, man. If we didn't get canceled, I guess it's fine.
I don't know. It just popped
Um,
into my head. I don't I don't know why.
you just made it up, but it's actually a word. And it like somewhat fits Chase Hooper. I think he looks a little immature. That's fair. But I don't know about the other stuff. Um,
I'm gonna do
Mitch
research.
Ramirez,
See if he's vegan.
he might be vegan. Look it up right now on Google
Yeah.
while I'm talking.
Okay.
Mitch Ramirez is the better striker. He's going to carry more power in his hands. But the problem with Mitch Ramirez, and we talked about this before we started um, filming tonight, is if there's just one takedown, the round is over. He doesn't get back up to his feet. He has problems with that. Now he can survive, which is great. If you survive against Chase Hooper, if he's on your back, that's a win, but you didn't win the round. And that's a problem. And I think Chase Hooper, if he keeps his word, says, I'm done striking with these birds. If I'm going to be committed to my craft, if I know what got me here and I'm going to stick to it and I'm not going to try to get too fancy, then he should be fine. He should get his opportunities to get Mitch Ramirez to the mat. He should get his back and he should submit him. He's a much better grappler. Mitch Ramirez is 0-2 in the UFC, but he's fought some pretty tough guys on the Contender Series, fought Carlos Prates, went to round 2 with him. He escaped the first round with Carlos Prates. A lot of people cannot say that Mitch Ramirez did. So stay away from this fight, guys. We're saying that because guess what? I'm going to get flamed on TikTok again, like I always do, if Chase Hooper gets slumped, but there's a good possibility that he does. We just can't pick Mitch Ramirez. He's got to prove it to us that he can get it done at the UFC level. Chase Hooper has fought pretty decent UFC fighters. Mitch Ramirez, kind of. He's lost to all of them. So we're really going to see where the skill levels lie for each guy, which is why we have to go with Chase Hooper.
Ugly. No, he is not vegan. Though
Okay.
he has experimented some vegetarian stuff during weight cuts.
Okay. Shrooms. All right. Hopefully that doesn't get us canceled.
Nothing wrong
All
with
right.
that. Okay, you do you. How you don't like
All
a
right.
nice juicy steak would blow my mind, but sure.
All righty. Moving up to the co-main. We got a 42-year-old guy, Jared Cannonier, taking on Christian Leroy Duncan.
um, Pretty simple pick here. Okay, and I think the only reason you pick Cannonier is because you're a Cannonier fan. Which I mean, we like Jared. Okay, Jared's made his rounds of the weight class, fighting at this, fighting at that. Um, he's well rounded. He's a vet. He can grapple. He can strike. He's technical. He's got a good gym behind him. Arizona native. All this stuff. He's been clipped way too much in pretty much every single one of his last fights. And if there's a guy that out of all of them you don't want to be clipped by, it's CLD. Okay, I understand RoboCop, and people are probably going to tell Brevin this in the comments like we're morons and we don't understand that. Oh, RoboCop lost to Cannonier and RoboCop beat CLD. Okay, congratulations. Thank you for just looking at a Tapology page. Um, RoboCop blew his wad. Should have finished him. Okay, and we've seen CLD after the RoboCop fight. He looks great. Taught him a lot. Okay, his footwork's phenomenal. His striking is great. Combo, volumes, different angles that he cuts, and the takedown defense. Jared likes to lean on you on the cage a lot. And he's 42, like Brevin said. I understand that we just can't get a Bobby Green fight right because he's 40 something. It's just not in their favor. It's just not. Jared Cannonier is not going to grapple fuck CLD. CLD, he's got the big cage because we're not in the apex. It's not the small cage. The striking is just levels above. He's so much quicker. You can't be getting caught by all these other people. In this one, I think, even if he didn't get caught in the other fights, I would have said he's going to in this one. CLD is just so good at striking. We're taking Leroy Duncan. I think Cannonier should hang it up.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, that might be the age that we see the return of Conor McGregor, but hey, Cannonier, listen, as much as we want him to hang it up, he's been doing okay. You know, he went the distance with Michael Venom Page. No one thought he was gonna do that. Beat Gregory Rodriguez, right? Lost to Kaio, who is up there in the top of the division. Lost to Imavov, who's up there in the top of the division. Those aren't bad losses. And then before that, beats Marvin Vettori. And guess what, JP? Beats the current champion in Sean Strickland. So, yeah, 42. But if you beat some of these guys, if you lose to the top guys, there's something about that that makes you feel like you can just keep doing it. Now, if he loses on Saturday, maybe in pretty bad fashion, he might consider it. And CLD is the type of guy that could potentially do that to you. He is powerful. He's tricky on the feet, great striking, and it's powerful. I think he could put the lights out of Jared Cannonier.
Oh boy. That was we got off track there for a little.
Yeah, we certainly did. I feel like we're still off track, but that takes us to the main event. Dricus du Plessis is taking on Kamaru Usman.
Good one. Good one with a little bit of bad blood, I would say. Okay. Um, we know what we're getting with both guys. Kamaru, what did he say in the post fight after that one? Oh, his knees don't work. Fuck you, or something like that. After he beat Joaquin. Um, and it's funny that I bring up the Joaquin fight because that's me and Brevin were talking a lot about that. Okay, even with the Mitch Ramirez fight, Joaquin was doing good at stuffing takedowns afterwards. He just couldn't get off of his back. But Kamaru did start to gas. Dricus is one of those guys, even when he gasses or if he gets tired, he still can fight very similar to he can as when it starts. We say all the time his striking is terrible. Somebody needs to expose him. He's just one of those guys where it's just weird and terrible and not mechanically or technically correct, but it works. And he puts pressures on guys. He makes you fight a chaotic fight, and he thrives in the chaos while other people don't. Izzy's picking him apart. Boom. All he's got to do is land one, create chaos. Now he's subbing Izzy. He has 2 wins over the former champ. Like Brevin just said, Sean Strickland got 2 wins. And the second one, I'd say, is pretty unanimous. The first one was the one that everybody was like, oh, I don't know. Kamaru's old. I don't care if he says his knees are good or not. They're not. They weren't. They never were. He wrestled that much. Kamaru does have an educated jab. That's one thing about his career that we loved, that we always like about fighters, is when they have an educated jab. I just don't see Dricus sitting at range, letting him pop him with that jab. Kamaru's got power in that right hand. People are going to say, oh, Kamaru can grapple fuck him like Hamzat did. Hamzat's much better. He just is. Hamzat's gas tank is just trash. And Kamaru showed the Joaquin fight he was getting tired. And Dricus will come forward. A lot more than Joaquin did. I don't think he's going to be worried about the grappling. We're taking Dricus du Plessis. And Brevin, he'll give you the idea of what Dricus is going to want next. I think he gets it.
Yeah. JP, I don't recall if you mentioned this or not, but it's important to note he fought Joaquin Buckley at 170. This fight's going to be at 185. So if you're gassing at 170, maybe you had a tough weight cut. But if you're gassing at 170, the wrestling exchanges is going to gas you even more at 185. Okay, that's just how that works. Dricus, I think, takes him into deep waters, survives the early onslaught from Kamara, maybe in rounds 1 and 2, And then all of a sudden, 3, 4, and 5, Dricus starts pouring it on. He has the championship level experience. He's a good enough grappler, wrestler, striker to keep Kamaru at bay. I think he beats the aged out, bad knee Kamaru Usman, wins this fight, and calls out the current champion, Sean Strickland, for the trilogy fight. He's back in the title contention. We can skip over Hamzat. Who wants to see a rematch? I mean, maybe. But at the same time, I think he skips over, calls out Sean. If he puts on a dominant performance, says, I beat you twice. Give me my belt back. And then it's a perfect setup for those two to meet again and for Dricus to potentially fight to become champion once again. So, listen, good fight. I'm happy Kamaro's came back and won a few fights for himself, but he is getting old. He's starting to do, social media and the podcasts and things of that nature. I think it's just kind of one of those things where you can tell, yeah, he still has the skills, but he's probably close to being done. Whereas I think Drake is 32 years old, already been champion. He's got a lot left in the tank, JP. That's how I feel personally. So
Primed.
I think he gets this one done.
It's prime for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean Kamaru's a dog. I would love to see both of them go at it in their prime, but yeah, dude. Those I got a bad left leg from my knee down. I can only imagine how bad Kamaru's knees are after years of wrestling. And
1,000%. All right, that does it for the card. It doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way right freaking now, starting with Locked Door MMA's Lock of the Night. JP, who are we locking up?
every week I say this: easy, simple, stop overthinking it. Alden Coria, round one. Alden Coria by finish. Alden Coria by KO. Pick one. Pick something. Don't cry about it. Don't play his money line. Nobody's holding a gun to your head saying you have to play the money line. Alden Coria, round one. Stuart Nicoll, no IQ. He's getting put out.
There you have it. Alden Coria, round one for the lock. I like it. Now it's time for Brevin's basics, starting with that lock. Give us Alden Coria, and then let's pair him up with someone that we are really high on, Christian Leroy Duncan, to get the job done over an aged out Jared Cannonier. And speaking of age, we talked about it. I think the knees are gone, and I think this guy's in his prime. Give me Dricus du Plessis to round out my basic.
Good one. That is a good one. All right. Use your time. Sit down, shut up, throw in the lock. Alden Coria, round one. Okay. It's just going to happen because that's the way these things work. Next one, which is one we might have to sweat out. Jose Delgado. All right. We're hoping on the range. We're hoping on the weapons coming down the middle against Bashi. Next one, Fatima Kline. We're doing it. We're throwing a women's fight in the juicer. Don't care. I like Fatima. I like her hands. I like her grappling. She has ways to finish fights. She's dangerous. All the above. Tommy Guns. Throw him in there. We're making money off of Tommy. Okay. Tommy Guns. You could even throw him by KO if you really want to get degenerate, because that's how he's going to win. Throw Tommy Guns in there. CLD, we are following behind Brevin with the last two. First one being CLD over the old man Cannonier. And next one, Dricus du Plessis, Nicholas du Pussy. Had to say it one time for the people. Over the two old men. It is what it is. They were great. These guys are in their primes. 6 legs. Right now it's plus 700. You could get that thing. Pretty freaking juice. Switch 2 of the lines with the finish. You know.
1,000%. I think it's going to be a fun card. It's in Oklahoma City. A lot of good fighters on this card. A lot of high-paced, high-action fights. Look for Tommy to be fighting for a performance bonus. That's his whole goal. I follow
Absolutely.
all of his socials. He's like, can't wait 4 days, another performance bonus. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. That's the confidence I want to see. I mean, he's not saying anything else like round one KO. He just says performance bonus. Because JP said it. He's gonna put on a show no matter what. Um, I'm really looking forward to this card. It'll be a nice, relaxing weekend for sure. After last weekend's extravaganza of a card. But with that, JP, I'll hand it over to you.
Heartbreak, man. Heartbreak. But that is the fight game, I guess. There's more eyes on it because it was Conor. It is what it is. Does he come back? I don't know. I don't know. Like you were saying, I don't know if I want to see it. I think we had our fun.
Give him Chandler. Chandler fucking sucks, dude. Chandler sucks. And I think Conor goes out there and starches him, and the whole
He
world
would.
goes crazy.
He would.
Give him Chandler.
But at this rate, like, fuck, Conor comes back. We do this whole build up again. Chandler shoots a takedown immediately because he's terrified. Conor blows out his knee again, stuffing it. No! This can't happen to me.
Oh my God.
Dude.
I really think we could see it. I think we could see Conor and Chandler as like a co-main, which is crazy. But at this point, he just can't be your main event. I don't know if the UFC trusts him to be the main event of a pay-per-view of a numbered card at this point. Like, yes, he'll get the eyes, he'll get the attention, but like put him maybe underneath Pereira. I don't know. Maybe if Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gahn,
Aspinall
right?
Pereira.
Aspinall Pereira, see something like that. I think you could get away with Conor as a co-main against Michael Chandler. Let's just get Conor on the board, and then we could talk about contract negotiation. Maybe give him 2 more fights. You get one against Holloway. He goes out there, and then I don't know. We see freaking Dustin Poirier coming straight from jail, talking shit online. I don't know. I've seen Machine Gun Kelly out there. Machine Gun Kelly's talking shit on Twitter. Get him in the octagon against Conor.
Oh, man. Yeah, you'd love to see it. You'd love to see it. MGK talking trash on Twitter. Even though the girl that you were fighting him over, you're no longer with. Sure. And you'd get the shit kicked out of you, but sure. And then Dustin, yeah, I don't know. Dustin's having his fun, like you're saying, straight out of jail. Those two will never say anything civil about each other, ever.
Yeah, I don't know. We could see it, man. Give him one. Give him a highlight knockout. Let him call out Islam. Let him call out Ilya, but then give him Max or Dustin, and I don't know, go from there.
Like, I just don't know. Because the whole build up to the next one, I would just be terrified of another injury.
I know we're terrified, and then he comes out there and shocks the world, and he says,
Max fucking Holloway, yeah? Bring me fucking weights with me belt.
"Yeah, surprise, surprise, the king is back," and then it's on again like Donkey Kong, brother.
Oh, man, that would...
Max Holloway, I'm your daddy, you're my son.
I sunned you even with a blown out knee. No, that was... And then Max, I guess I had him weak in the knees, brother. Shut up. Shut
Shut
up.
up, bro.
I love Max, though. That was funny. I like how he's saying they got to run it back. I don't know if you saw, and we're just yapping for no reason here, but I don't know if you saw the way his wife and his son reacted.
Yeah, who's your daddy now?
Yeah, which, like,
I get it.
I can
I
get it
get
for
it.
his family because they're,
Yeah.
it's probably
Conor
a
was
whole
saying
different
it.
level.
He was saying it. You're hyped. Your dad's in there fighting the man. I would say the same thing. I'd probably say a lot worse, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Who knows? We can only hope and pray, but we got a good one this weekend. I think it's a couple more weeks straight. At one point, I think it was 9 weeks after the break, so I think it's like maybe 6 more weeks we got or something straight of UFC. We're getting closer to football. All right, we're gonna do our draft soon. I was thinking about that today. Other than that, Brevin, anything else for the people?
If you made it this far, hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Help the boys beat the algorithm's ass. And hit the subscribe button. It's free to do. We're on the road to 2,000. We made a lot of headway this weekend. Welcome to the community. We're happy to have you. We're the best in the world. JP, you can sign us off.
Absolutely. If you got nothing to say, drop a W in the comments. All right, we're beating the shit out of that algorithm. Okay, another weekend, another set of fights, ladies and gentlemen. As always, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby. Hey.